In Spain, people are banned from leaving home except for buying essential supplies and medicines, or for work. With 191 deaths, Spain is Europe's worst-hit country after Italy. In France, where 91 people have died, cafes, restaurants, cinemas and most shops are now shut. Italy, which has recorded more than 1,440 deaths, began a nationwide lockdown on Monday. The World Health Organization, WHO, says Europe is now the epicenter of the pandemic. WHO head Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus has urged countries to use aggressive measures, community mobilization and social distancing to save lives. What measures has Spain taken? Spain, which has a population of 46.7 million, has recorded more than 6,300 infections. Late on Saturday, Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez's wife Begoña Gómez tested positive for the virus, the government confirmed. It said they both remained in the Prime Minister's residence at La Moncloa in Madrid and were doing fine. About 1,800 more cases have been recorded since Friday evening, many in the capital. Under a state of emergency, Mr. Sanchez is banning Spanish citizens from leaving home, except for buying essential supplies and medicines, or for work. All museums, cultural centers and sports venues will be closed. Restaurants and cafes may only do home deliveries. Essential services like banks and petrol stations will remain open. Schools are already shut across the country. On Saturday, Mr. Sanchez appealed for unity, calling on all regions to put ideological differences aside and put citizens first. I want to tell the workers, the self-employed and businesses that the government of Spain is going to do everything in its power to cushion the effects of this crisis, he said. The state of emergency will last for 2 weeks, more if deemed necessary and Parliament approves. This will be the second state of emergency in the country since the transition to democracy began in 1975, the first being a 2010 air traffic controllers strike. And what about France? France, a country of 63.5 million people, has reported more than 4,400 confirmed cases. Prime Minister Edouard Philippe said the number of people in France in intensive care was growing and earlier guidelines for the public were being ignored. The closure, which went into force at 2300 hours GMT on Saturday, applies to restaurants, cafes, cinemas and nightclubs as well as non-essential businesses. It will not, Mr. Philippe said, affect essential businesses which he listed as food shops, chemists, banks, tobacco shops and petrol stations. Mr. Philippe also asked people to reduce their travel, especially between towns. The best way to slow down the epidemic, he said, was social distancing. I say this gravely, we must all together show greater discipline in the application of these measures, Mr. Philippe added. Local elections due on Sunday will still go ahead, he said. Religious buildings will remain open but gatherings and ceremonies should be postponed. Schools in France will be closed as of Monday until further notice. France reported a sharp rise in cases on Saturday, from 3,661 to 4,499. It recorded 12 more deaths, bringing the toll to 79. The BBC's Paris correspondent, Hugh Schofield, says the measures amount to a dramatic ratcheting up of the French response, reflecting growing alarm at the fast spread of the virus.